Hello and welcome to another episode of Linux Innovation. In this video, we will focus primarily on the installation of the Debian operating system, particularly version 10.3. Let's proceed and create the new virtual machine by clicking Create. Let's choose the typical install, click Next. Then we select our ISO image, in this case, Debian 10.3. Let's hit Open. Then click Next. Then define the virtual machine name. In our case, it will be Debian-10.3. Click Next. Then we review the actual volume that we define for the virtual machine and pick up the default values. Click Next. Then we customize our hardware. We usually use 2 gigs of memory, which is 2048 megabytes, and 2 cores. Let's click Close. Then we click Finish. This will generate a virtual machine, and we're ready to power it up. We'll choose a graphical installation, which is the default installation. We are initially greeted with the language selection. We select English, click Next or Continue. Then our location, we're in the United States, click Continue. And then configuration for the keyboard, we're using an American keyboard, click Continue. In here, we just define the host name for our system. In our case, it will be Debian-10.3.localdomain. Click Continue. Then we define our root password. Then we create a user account for our first user. In our case, it will be Linux Innovations. Click Continue. Then this will be the username for our account. In our case, it will be L Innovations. We click Continue. And then define the password for the user. Then we click Continue. Here we configure our clock. We're in the Pacific time zone, so we click Pacific and click Continue. Then we'll be greeted with the partition configuration. We'll select the entire disk and LVM, Continue. Then we select the actual disk. In our case, we're going to define a separate partition for home, for var, and TMP to have everything segregated into its own partition. Click Continue. And yes, we're going to format the disk. Then this is the amount of disk. Click Continue. And this is a preview. We hit yes. This is what we want for the partitioning layout. Click Continue. And then I will expedite the video a little bit for the next section. And here if we have more disks, we don't have any more disks, we just hit no or the default and click continue. Then we pick our package manager, which will be the US, United States, continue. And then we select our closest mirror for the installation. In our case, we're in California, it will be Berkeley, the closest mirror to us. And we select that and click continue. We're not using any proxy servers for download, we click continue. Momentarily, we will be greeted with the, the actual window manager that we will select. Um, our preferred window manager is GNOME, and we'll be installing the SSH server. This is the popularity context. We click no and click continue, which is the default entry. And then we're getting asking for our software selection. I pick GNOME and SSH server, and then continue. Now I will expedite the video a little bit so we don't waste too much time while the packages get downloaded from the chosen actual mirror that we pick. Yes, we want to install the bootloader on the hard disk. So we click yes and click continue. I want to install it on the first hard disk, which is SDA. Select that and click continue. This will install our grub bootloader on the first disk, or the only disk in this case that we have on the VM. It's actually finalizing the installation, and then we will proceed with the continue to reboot the system. Now that the system is rebooting, we should be greeted with a graphical window manager. In our case is GNOME. Click on the username, type our password, sign in. And this is our default desktop for Debian 10.3. All right, let's power off. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.